hey, thanks for joining us. Cardiff Devils Summit 2025. What a time we've had. New coach, new era. Tomo has had a heck of a time. Well, I shouldn't even speak for him. Like, Tomo, how's Stampede been? Like, pretty good? Unreal. Like, pretty unreal. The best part about it is talking Devils hockey. Hosting here today, gone over the lineup, gone over the finances. I think we're going to be good. I really do. I think we're going to be good. We got some signings today. We're going to announce 4 signings. So we'll be back in a second.
Hello, Cardiff Devils fans. Craig Shostak here. Miss you guys. Hope to be back early next fall to hang out with you guys. Love Cardiff. So I'm here to announce our first signing at the summit. I'm very, very pleased to announce our hat-trick hero in the Continental Cup final last year. 19 goals, 22 assists for our Devils. Second year back, number 11, Brett Perlini. Love to have you back, Brett. Good luck.
Chance and a goal! Perlini with the third on the power play!
Hey Devils fans, Kelly Hughes here, excited to announce our next signing. This goaltender, big body, great stats, just graduating from Bowling Green University in the NCAA, Christian Stover.
Here for Tack. Morrell coming in. What a save by Stover. What a save by Stover. Saved the day there. That pass tipped down low. Magnuson. Huge save. How did that
stay out? All right, Devils fans. Team signed jersey. Our first league championship team, 2016-17. What a time that was. That team was tough. We're going to have a tough team this year. One of the keys to that is one of my favorite dudes in the entire world, Connor the Hitman Capone. One of my son's teammates for the last 4 years at the University of Denver, 2-time national champion, assistant captain back-to-back years to finish it off. Broke the record for all-time most games played in Denver University history, actually breaking the record held by Ryan Barrow of your Cardiff Devils. The one thing you need to understand about Connor, he is the son of a U.S. Marine colonel. We're talking tough. Is he the biggest guy? No, but he will run through you. He doesn't hit you, he hits 2 feet behind you. And he is something else. Great penalty killer. Great on the face-offs, unbelievable team guy. There's literally nothing this guy will not do for his team to help the team win. And that's how Denver, his class, the 2025 graduating class, most wins of any 4-year period of any graduating class in Denver University history, the most successful college program in history. So couldn't be happier to have him. Watch the highlights of this kid. It is truly mind-boggling how he just destroys people at every chance. And he will be there for his teammates every single shift, every single game. So welcome to the Cardiff Devils, Connor the Hitman Capone.
And there it is. Capone scores. Denver just trying to get it out, and they do. Here's Connor Capone, empty net.
and the senior's going to get a goal.
Capone, welcome to the ice. This one in front, it's in, score, Connor Capone.
Denver actually has one shorthanded goal tonight. Carter King trying to make it two, and he does. He assists on another one as he beats Connor Capone.
Hey Devils fans, Brian Parker here. For our next signing, we're taking a legacy pick. His father, Daniel, played for the Newcastle Jesters of the Super League, where he beat up on a very young and naive Todd Kelman. His son has played in the AHL, the East Coast Hockey League, Allsvenskan, and most recently in the ICHL. Last year he scored 10 goals, 14 assists, and had 154 PIMs. At 6'1" and 190 pounds, he plays a 200-foot game his way. So garde la tête haute, or keep your head up, as we welcome Cedric Lacroix.
Cedric Lacroix, this is our first chance to see Lacroix do what he's known for, and that's scrap. They come together at center ice.
Both locked. Oh, boy, one
Lacroix
shot.
hit him with a bomb.
Wow.
Oh, Lacroix got him with it right there.
Well, Tomo, we've been in Calgary for just under a week. Your first rodeo. Everyone talks about how it's not their first rodeo. This was literally your first rodeo. We're at the beautiful Lake Bonavista where I grew up, where Steve King currently lives and where Craig Shostak currently lives. The lake behind you is where I skated when I was a kid. Talk about your experience here in Calgary, meeting the owners, and just the whole week.
It's been great, Todd. I've really enjoyed it. And, no, I've not been to the west side of Canada. I've been to the east side, 6 or 7 times. So I've never been this side. And Steve and Kim have looked after me really well. I met the other ownership, obviously, and they took me to the rodeo, and unbelievable. I had no idea, to be honest with you. I've seen bits on the TV, but when you see it live and you see the speed and the aggressive side of it as well, I was absolutely mesmerized. And I won't lie, we had a couple of beers with it as well, and I can't thank the ownership enough for the way they've looked after me and greeted me. It's great to meet them, obviously.
Good. Now, we've announced 4 signings today. There's still some spots left in the lineup. Why don't you tell everyone just a little bit about what we have left?
Well, we have three import spots left. I mean, we've still got a guy or two that we haven't announced yet. So we have contract offers out with 2 of them. We're just currently looking at the 3rd position. We do have options for that. We haven't sent any contract offer out at this point, and they're pretty key positions. They're all key positions within your team, but we want to get it right. We're really happy with where the team is so far, and but it's getting later in the summer now, and I know you deal with the visa side of things and everything else. We don't want to rush into a signing and get the wrong guy, but we have options. We're hopeful that we'll get a signature within the next few days and look to finalize our squad. But we like what we have. We like the depth that we have and the character that we have. And we're looking. We're kind of on that home stretch now. So once we get these signed, we can start thinking about logistically the hockey side of things. And but it's exciting times.
Yeah, so earlier in the day, we went through the finances. We talked about the Elite League itself. We talked about what other teams are bringing in. And then we went through the players that some of the players that we announced today, and then also some of the players that have already been announced. But basically, you did a bit of a video presentation on all the new guys that are new to the Cardiff Devils. One of the things you talked about from the very start of this meeting, and from the start of when we initially started talking about bringing you in as head coach, was finding an identity for the Cardiff Devils. Do you want to talk about that a bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think I said a little bit previously when I signed and I came up and did the interview with the club that I think we've got some superb pieces that are returning, that were already returning prior to me coming in. But I think, you know, I can only use my experience as opposing coach when we came in and we played the Devils. It was a tough night. You know, you knew you were in for a real high level competition, and you know, and the teams that I had went head to head with the Devils over the years. So it's nice to be, you know, on the Devils bench and looking to bring an identity back that our fans are going to enjoy and understand. But of course, the parameters of 20 years ago have changed within the game. You know, but I do want us to be a team that's going to get in on the forecheck, you know, and play a physical game, but within the rules of the game. And a team that can get on the inside. I felt maybe a little bit last year that our skill set was unbelievable, but you know, you have to get inside if you want to win them big games, and they were so close last year, and we hope that we're bringing the personnel in that maybe will define a difference and give us that opportunity for a trophy this season.
One of the things that we talked about today was the actual amount of games, and one of the things we looked at in preseason was trying to eliminate at least 1 or 2 games. We eliminated 1, but also not being in the Continental Cup, as great as it was and as thrilling and what an honor it was to win it last year. You know, one of the things you mentioned was having 6 less games to play will make a difference, you know, wear and tear on the body for the guys.
Totally, and you know, and I mean, we're a very different dynamic as a league, because everywhere else in the world is about the playoffs and obviously finishing as high as you can, where we have a 54 game playoff. I mean, it's as simple as that. So if you want to stay in the hunt, you've got to be consistent, and so you've got to be consistent in making sure that your players are fresh for every challenge. We all play back-to-back games. I think the only other league in Europe that does that, in maybe Switzerland do it a little bit, but it's mainly Finland. So, you know, new players coming in, North Americans are used to it, you know, that's something that they're used to. So it's about, you know, we've changed the practice times. We're gonna start practicing a little bit later, and that's all about recovery and making sure the sleep cycles are really good coming in, and we get our workouts done before we hit the ice, so guys are nice and warm. We get our preparation and our video done, and then we hit the ice. So everything's been shifted back a little bit more. There's going to be a lot more focus on the off-ice fitness and conditioning. We've got a new conditioning coach that I'm really, really pleased with. So the guys are, you know, they're going to be put through their paces, especially in training camp time. And you know, guys are so professional these days. They go away in the summer and they're working out 5-6 days a week. They're building their muscle mass, and you know, you get to training camp where it's all anaerobic and guys can lose a lot of weight. So we've got to maintain, you know, the weight that they put on, and the strength and the power that they put on, and not just through training camp, throughout the year. And everyone drops a little bit because of the style of game that we play. So there's a lot of planning into the physics side of what we need to do to be a competitive team every night. And you know, and every team will be looking at that, and every team gets better every year and advances on that side of things, because it is a tough schedule. We don't get international breaks like you do in Europe, you know, where guys can mend their bodies a little bit twice a year, and we don't have that. So we have to manage the situation. But training camp, I can tell you, training camp will be tough, and our players will be put through it, and we want to test them physically, and we want to see how they react mentally when they're physically tired. You know, it's all part of that character building, but we can't wait to get going.
Now, because we talked a lot about the new players today, but also in the last few weeks, and you know, we talked about identity, and even the signing videos have shown, you know, we're getting probably bigger, stronger, and tougher. But what about the players returning that, you know, we announced right away? We were almost forgetting because they were announced. You know, Josh McDonald, Joey Martin, Cole Sanford, guys that put up big numbers last year. Are you excited about working with guys like that? Is it always something, especially maybe guys you coached against in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I've been away a few years now, but obviously, I've talked about Joey and his impact on Cardiff and on the league and on against every team he played against. But McDonald and Sanford, 2 premier players in this league. There's no doubt about that. And to work with that caliber of player, and obviously, Fournier when I left was the best defenseman in the country when I left. So. And I don't want to miss anyone out because everybody has roles and everybody brings quality to the team. So the nucleus of players that are coming back, I can't wait to work with them. I'm really excited. Pelini put up great numbers last year. And has been a great player in this league for many years also. So, and then you have Bouncy, and he's going to have a new partner this year, and Bouncy once again proves statistically where he is. So, and I had Bouncy for a small time with the Great Britain team when I was coaching. I brought him in actually as the 3rd goalie as a young guy, and and I've spoke to every single player, within the first kind of 2 weeks of signing with the Devils and coming back, and they sound hungry and determined and excited about what's ahead. So to answer your question, we have some great pieces. And I just think it was about adding around that, and we don't have a crystal ball. We're all competing for one title. There's 10 of us competing for one title, but I think we have the durability within our squad. We certainly have the size. We've upped the size, and but you have to keep the skill factor. You have to keep the speed. So even the big guys that we brought in, they're mobile. And that's today's game. So with the new guys coming in and the guys returning, I'm excited about it, but I think that the biggest thing, and I know we talk about it time and time again, is good people. You win with good people, and people that understand. So we're going to push them. They're going to be pushed hard, but and they'll push back, rightly so, and that's what we want. But we want an open and honest environment, and an environment that challenges everybody every day, and that's what we're looking for.
We're a few weeks away from the opening of training camp in the first couple games. We've met with the coaches just briefly. We did an interview a couple weeks ago with Nicholas and with Ewan. Talk a little bit about Nicholas and what he brings to the table.
Well, Nicholas was recommended to me from a friend of mine that coached and managed in the SHL for many years, and he's a very intelligent man, and he worked with Frölunda for a couple of years, and then he was an assistant coach in Norway for a couple of years, and in Sweden, I think the 3rd level in Sweden. And I'm not saying that I took a flyer on him because I did my homework on him, as did the GM who I was working for at the time. But we felt his maturity is something that we needed last year in Odense. And he's very calm. He knows the game. He loves the penalty kill. He loves defense, and he loves working with his players on a daily basis. So I think the players will get a lot of one-to-one with him. And what I liked about him was his strength on the bench as well, of understanding the game, the situation in the game. And like we say, we talk to the players at the start of the year, and we respect them all exactly the same, whether you're the 13th forward or whether you're Joey Martin, but we can't all give you the same. That's just not the way it works. So, there will be players playing higher minutes on the back end and on the front end, and Nicholas is a coach, that understands that concept of when to put them out. And I like that he makes decisions, and if we make, and we all make mistakes as coaches, we're only human, we don't have all the answers. So, but I like that he makes the decision based on the fact that he wants to win every day. And I think the players, and Ewan and him, got on really well when they met up, and they're going to have a big understanding together as well. So I'm excited for him and for the players to see how he works on a daily basis.
One guy that we've talked a little bit about, but maybe not so much had your perspective on it, the young Scottish defenseman Brody Kay. Can you just talk about him a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, Brody's had a kind of season and a half in Fife, and I suppose he was thrown in the fire there because of their British depth. And we really liked his mobility. We felt he skates well. His first pass is good. He can skate himself out of trouble, but obviously he's 18. So we've got to get a little more power in him, and his decision making. We spent, and more so Nicholas, but we cut 20-30 clips on him, and we sent descriptions of where we saw he needed to improve and how we would improve him. So we did that about 6-7 weeks ago, and I know him and Nicholas will take him under his wing. There's no doubt about that. And they've had feedback now on what, and with the system, Nicholas understands the system obviously from being with me for a year, and what's needed and how he needs to improve and how his hockey IQ needs to improve to force himself into getting a regular shift with the team. But he's a project, but he's a project that's had experience in this league, and we're looking forward to getting him to giving him the maturity that's required, that we can trust him on a daily basis to make us better.
All right, last thing, we've heard from the owners announcing the 4 players today. I think Devils fans know all about Brett Perlini and what he brings. Can you just finish with your take on the 3 other guys that we announced today: Christian Stover, Cedric Lacroix, and Connor Caponi?
Well, we wanted to get a little bit bigger up the middle, and maybe Caponi doesn't do that, but he plays big, and he's a strong face-off guy. He's a really good penalty killer. He's got good boots. He moves his feet really well. He's a guy with amazing timing with his hits. He plays a real physical game. He plays with a lot of jam, but I think the most important thing about Caponi is he plays with responsibility as well. He knows what he's good at, and he knows when to time it, and I think he's going to be a crowd favorite. Maybe not in every other barn, but I know in ours he will be a crowd favorite. And I just like his energy. And the one thing that when I looked at the team overall when you signed me, Todd, was I felt we were getting a little old, and we have some fantastic veterans that are returning. Mosey, he can just skate for fun, that guy, but we need to get a little bit younger and a little bit more energy in our group, and Caponi fits that bill totally, and we'll be asking him to contribute as well offensively. So I think he's a great tick in the box for the role that we see him in, and he's a guy that wants to develop and get more responsibility as he goes. Big Cedric, he's played in the American League. He's played in the Allsvenskan. And for a big guy, and he is a physical guy, and he's a strong guy, he's got a nice touch. Great in the face-off circle again. I think that's something that we looked at. He's a great age, great attitude, and around the net, he's got a nice touch and real nice feel. He's a big body to shift. He understands. I've seen him playing on the net front in the power play, and I think he's going to be pivotal in them positions. But he makes hockey plays. He's smart, and of course he does what he does physically to help the team out. So, but he's played in some good leagues. He's played in the Ice League. He's played. You don't go to the Allsvenskan if you can't contribute, you can't play, you can't skate. And I think again these 2 guys are going to be real big crowd pleasers with the way they play. But I think they're going to give us a dynamic that maybe we lacked a little bit of last year. I don't want to speak about it because I wasn't here, but just in educating myself to the games that I watched last year. So they're fun. They're going to be fun guys, and they work hard, great attitudes every day, and I'm going to really enjoy working with them. And Christian, lastly, out of the 3 new signings that we announced, we looked at the dynamic of the goaltending, and we did a lot of thought with you, with Nicholas, with Ewan, of the type of player that we wanted to bring in to partner Bouncy. Bouncy, once again, terrific last year. Just look at his stats and how he played. But you want goaltenders pushing each other, then it's my decision ultimately who's going to play, and that's no different to the goaltending position is no different to any other position. But I feel that we've got the balance right, and again we've got a 25-year-old guy that led the NCAA last year, in Bowling Green, and he got a slight injury, and then someone else took the net, then he took it back, and he's just like the other guys. When he speaks to them, great attitudes. They're super excited to be in Cardiff. They've heard only good things about coming here, about the ownership here. And so 3 of them new signings are of an age group and an energy group that I think is going to hopefully give us what maybe we lacked a little bit more of last year.
All right, final thing, any closing words of the week? Wrap up the week here, and a message to the fans heading into the season?
Yeah, can't wait to get going. We want to get these last 3 signings done, but like I said before, we don't want to rush them. and we want to bring the right people and the right players, and we know the type of player that we want to bring in each position. But I'm just looking forward to, I went to Joey's testimonial game and kind of hid in the back up in the top there, and it was a great feeling to be the head coach of Cardiff and looking at, even it was Joey's day and I was just analysing it. So I can't wait for that first game, against Gap when I'm behind the Devils bench and I'm on your side, and I am on your side and I'm fully committed to what's ahead. So can't wait to meet you all and give you everything I have.
Thank you.
Devils fans, we're just sitting around here and enjoying a nice cold beverage at Steve's house, thinking about the year to come. And one of the things I'm most excited about, we have an overall team toughness that I'm real happy to see on the ice. Part of that starts on defense. We have Helgeson is going to be, I think, a real tough customer. And sneaky good though is Estes. Like, he was an MVP in his last league, and I think he's going to be real good. We haven't even announced the whole team yet, but I also think about an MVP from the Devils past, Fournier. I think in our new system he's going to be real strong, and I think we're going to see a resurgent D. And I think that, as they always say, championships get built from the back up. So I think our defense is going to be really good. We got Mosey, who's been awesome. Richie, who's been a stud forever. And of course we got Kay, which we talked about. This is going to be a really interesting D-core. And I think the other teams are going to have to be real careful coming into our zone.
Hey guys, enjoying the afternoon here in Calgary for the Stampede, and for me, exciting for the upcoming year. Last year was frustrating. Obviously, the Continental Cup was fantastic, but I feel we underachieved. There's more in this group, and I think we've got the coach to bring it out of them. A really good friend of mine played for Tomer in Coventry, and he tells me quite vividly that Tomer's a great teammate, great leader, and a great person. And I doubt we underperform this year. I think we exceed expectations, and can't wait for the puck to drop.
Hey, Devil fans. I'm just going to speak in generalities. We love you guys. We understand, or I hope you understand, how hard it is for us to build a competitive team every year. And every year we want to win every championship. So that's why we get together in these summit meetings to do our best for you guys to bring it home for you. So again, it's been a great year. We have a new coach. We're looking forward to 2025, and I think this will be our year.
Yeah, lineup is still coming together. We got 3 key spots still to fill. I really like being patient here, as some of the more high-profile North American players maybe haven't found a spot. I think it's a good time for us to fill out the lineup. But as Kelly said, I think the key to the season is bringing Tom Owen, the most decorated coach in our league's history, and a pro's pro. The players are going to love him. They already do. Unbelievable organization, and we just can't wait. So I think we're planning on coming out maybe in October. There may be, I don't want to release the fixtures, but there may be a Scottish triple header coming. We might come to that as well. So hope to see you all there. As always, let's go Devils.
Devils fans, I want you guys to know what a great summit we've had. First of all, I want to thank the Kings, Kim and Steve. What a fantastic day and evening.
Mostly Kim.
Yeah, beautiful food, braised short rib, wonderful wines, great conversation, good serious Devil business. And really looking forward to seeing the Devils fans maybe at a secret upcoming Scottish treble. Who knows, maybe. But hey, what a great summit. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Loved having our Welsh friends here. Coach Tomo, of course, first time. My man Kipper. Katrina, of course. And then our special guest, the McWilliams tonight, with Nicole carrying their new Welsh conceived baby. Thanks for coming. What a night.
Devils fans, can't wait for the puck to drop. So excited for the year to come. Rosters to be determined. We got a couple more guys we're going to announce here quickly, but you'll love it. Shosty?
Devils fans, 2025 is going to be our year. We love you guys.
And